morning and welcome to English Lessons on Iman TV. We're going to start our lesson with the vocabulary test and then the rest of the lesson is all on grammar. بیننده های بسیار محترم تلویزیون ایمان، ما درس امروز با یک امتحان و یا تکرار لغات انگلیسی شروع میکنیم. البته لغات شما قبلا به آشنایی دارین و بعدا باقی درس ما همه موضوعات گرامری خواهد بود. با اساس خواهش بعضی بیننده ها ما بعضی قسمت های گرامری و بعضی لغات هم به زبان دری به شما تشریح خواهد کردم. So let's start with the vocabulary review first. These are the words. So what I have for you is I have a bank of words and then I have 10 words and then I have 10 sentences. So what I want you to do is to choose the right word for each sentence. در این قسمت برای شما ما 10 لغت در یک باکس تقدیم میکنم و توقع ما شما است که همین لغات شما با جملاتی که در خالیگاه جملاتی که ما شما تقدیم میکنم اینجا به اصطلاح استعمال بکنین، انتخاب بکنین، ببینید که نظر معنا این جملات مکمل میسازه و به جملات وفق داره. دیگه اول پیشتر از اینکه جملات شما ترتیب بدین لطفاً بعد از ما تکرار بکنین. Please repeat after me together. Emergency, emergency. Board, board. Patience, patience. Laboratory, laboratory. Stretcher, stretcher. Convalescent home, convalescent home. Operation, operation. Finish, finish. Now, let's look at these sentences. I will read them first, and then I will give you a chance to think about them, and then choose the correct word. Here, you don't have to worry about the form of the word. Just think about the meaning. It's a vocabulary, so it's not grammar. Americans call 911 if they have in what? So there is one word on that list that completes the sentence. Mrs. Smith could not blank his lab test yesterday. Which word will fit here? It is 12 o'clock now. Let's the plane. What do you do with the plane here? One word will fit in this sentence. Let's go to the next page. There are many in this hospital. There are many what in this hospital? One word on that word bank can help you make the sentence correct. My colleague is recovering in a what? Okay? Colleague is somebody who works with you together. If two people work in the same company, they are colleagues. Okay? Number 6. They put the emergency patient on a blank and moved her to an emergency room. What did they put the emergency patient on? Okay? And then, number 7, you can go to a hospital for blood test. Hospitals what? Only surgeons can perform in a hospital. Perform what in a hospital? So there are actually 8 words, sentences, not 10. I misspoke. Now, please repeat after me one more time these words, and then you'll use them in the sentences. Please repeat. Emergency, emergency. Board, board. Patience, patience. Laboratory, laboratory. Stretcher, stretcher. Operation, operation. Convalescent home, convalescent home. Finish, finish. The first sentence. Americans call 911. 911, actually I give you an extra one there. So let me retry this again. Americans call 911 if they have an what? The correct answer is if they have an emergency. So if there is emergency, if there is a fire, or if there is an earthquake, or if somebody has a heart attack, they call what? 911. Mr. Smith could not his lab test yesterday. Could not what? could not finish. He started it, but he couldn't finish his lab tests. Lab test means that he went to a laboratory. Lab is the short form of laboratory. Laboratory is lab. The word that we have in Farsi for laboratory is very similar, but we pronounce it differently. We call it laboratoire, but this is laboratory in English. And the British people pronounce it differently. It is 12 o'clock now. Let's the plane. Let's what? Board the plane. Here, board has a number of different meanings. But in this sentence, board the plane means داخل طیاره شدن معنا میده. Board the plane again که با طیاره داخل شویم. So you board like a boarding pass. میدان هوایی که شما برین برای شما boarding pass میده. یعنی یک پاس میده که یا به اصطلاح فارسی پاس میگیم که شما را اجازه از این میده که داخل طیاره داخل شوید. So boarding pass. Let's board the plane means what? Let's get inside the plane. Let me read these sentences with correct completions. Americans call 911 if they have an emergency. Mr. Smith could not finish his lab tests yesterday. It is 12 o'clock now. Let's board the plane. There are many in this hospital. Many what? The correct answer is patients. Patients in Farsi means mariz, and patients marizha. So if somebody is in the hospital, that person is called what? A patient. Okay? There are doctors and nurses, and then there are what? Patients. Number 5. My colleague is recovering in a convalescent home. Convalescent home. Sometimes people have an operation. They go to the hospital. They stay in the hospital for 3 to 5 days. Then they need more care. They send them to a convalescent home. Convalescent home is also like a clinic or like a hospital where people go after operation to recover. لغت convalescent home معنیش است که این مثل یک کلینیک یا یک شفاخانه است که بعد از عملیات به خاطر بهتر شدن وضع مریض در اینجا مریضا میرن و به اون خاطر است که این به نام convalescent home میگن. یعنی جایی که مردم صحتش خوب میشه و در اونجا یعنی وضعشون وخیم نیست که با شفاخانه باشه. به اون خاطر اینا در یک جایی میرن که اونجا نرس و دکتر است اما 24 ساعت اینا به اصطلاح توجه کار ندارن. Please repeat. Convalescent home. Convalescent home. They put the emergency patients on a what? And moved her to a emergency room. The word is what? Stretcher. A stretcher is like a moving bed. You see the picture there. That's called a stretcher. Okay? So usually ambulances, they have stretchers. They put the patients, they move them fast. In the hospital, they have stretchers that they put them so they move them fast around and from one room into another. That's called stretcher. Look at the picture. Please repeat. Let's read these sentences one more time. There are many patients in the hospital. My colleague is recovering in a convalescent home. They put the emergency patient on a stretcher and moved her to an emergency room. Number 7. You can go to hospitals for blood tests. Hospitals what? Hospitals laboratory. Laboratory is what we call it laboratoire. So you can go to a laboratory for tests. And number 8, only surgeons can perform an operation in a hospital. The word is what? Operation. Surgeons is also doctor. In Farsi you call it jarrah. Okay? So somebody who does the jarahi or operation is called surgeon. Okay? Surgeon. And surgeons is plural. So only surgeons can perform an operation, can do an operation. Not every doctor is a surgeon. A surgeon is a doctor, but not every doctor is a surgeon. Keep that in mind. Now, let me read these sentences with correct completion. You can go to a hospital's laboratory for blood tests. Only surgeons can perform an operation in a hospital. Now before we leave this page, let's go over these words in the box. Please repeat after me together. Emergency, emergency. Board, board. Patience, patience. Laboratory, laboratory. Stretcher, stretcher. Operation, operation. Convalescent home, convalescent home. Finish, finish. Now let's move to the next part or segment of our lesson. This segment is what? The grammar. So first we're going to review a grammar lesson which is used to, and then I will teach you a new grammar structure which is the simple future tense. But first we review, then we're going to go to a new lesson. Okay? So here is the review lesson first. When do we use used to? We use used to express a past situation or habit that no longer exists. Simply it means what? That you use used to when you talk about something that you did it in the past but you don't do it anymore. یعنی این فریزی used to وقتی در زبان انگلیسی استعمال میشه که شما یک عمل را در گذشته به صورت تکراری انجام داده باشین اما بعد از او عمل دیگه انجام نمیدین. به طور مثال میگین که I used to live in Kabul. I personally used to live in Kabul. یعنی ما در گذشته برای سالهای بسیار متمادی در کابل زندگی کردیم. یعنی حالا در کابل زندگی نمیکنم. اما در یک چیزی که شما در گذشته کردین اما فعلا او عمل انجام نمیدین، در اون صورت میگین used to. کسانی که مثلا سیگرت کشیده باشن اما حالا سیگرت دیگه نمیکشن میگن what? I used to smoke cigarette. It means what? I don't do it anymore. Okay? کسانی که مثلا گذاشتم به طور مثال مکتب رفتن اما دیگه مکتب نمیرن، درساشون تمام شده، گریجویت شدن، دیگری خود گرفتن. You could say what? I used to go to school. It means I don't do it anymore. کسانی که به طور مثال یک فعالیت فیزیکی را انجام میدادن، مثلا ساکر بازی میکردن به طور مثال، میگن I used to play soccer. It means what? I don't do it anymore. Okay? Used to در صورتی که شما یک فعالیت در گذشته به صورت تکرار انجام داده باشین، در اون صورت است که شما used to را استعمال میکنین. Okay. We use did to make questions. To make it questions, the صورت سوالیش, you use did. For example, did you used to live in Iran? Did Jim used to smoke? Rule number 3. We use didn't to form negative. To make it negative, manfi, then you may use what? Didn't. So you say what? I didn't used to drink coffee, but now I drink 2 cups a day. Right? I didn't used to drink coffee. The گذشته یعنی من کافی نمی نوشیدم. But now I drink 2 cups a day. So you could make it negative, you can make it also what? Positive. Now let's practice some of these sentences. So what I have for you, I have a bank of words. I have actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 words. And then I have 10 sentences. Use used to plus the verb. Remember, after used to, regardless of the subject, you always use the simple form of the verb. Okay? So the verbs are live, smoke, exercise, speak, write, ride, teach, eat, take, and sing. Mr. Kaifi at Kabul University. Jim, 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I and understand Urdu. Ali letters to Maritza. Okay, so which verbs do you use in these sentences? Think about them. Number 5. My family in Afghanistan. Which verb will fit here? My son, Chinese food. Which verb will fit here? Ahmad, Pashto songs. Again, choose the right verb and use used to. They, their bicycles to school. Now, and then number 9, these students and their school gym every day, but now they don't do any physical activity. And number 10, my brother a nap every afternoon, but now he does not have time for a nap. Now let's look at sentence number 1 again. Mr. Kaifi at Kabul University. What did Mr. Kaifi do in the past at university that he doesn't do it anymore? The correct answer is, he used to teach at Kabul University. Yes, it's a true story. Mr. Kaifi was a professor at Kabul University. He's no longer in Kabul. He's here in the Bay Area in California. He doesn't teach there anymore. So he used to teach, but not anymore. Jim, 2 packs of cigarettes a day. What? He smoked, right? So you say what? Jim used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes. But now it means what? He doesn't do it anymore. Number 3. I and understand Urdu. I what? I used to speak and understand Urdu. It means in the past, I could speak it, I could understand it, but now, no. Didn't use it, you lose it. The same thing with languages. If you don't use a language, you lose it, especially children. So we need to use our languages. Ali, letters to Maritza. What do people do? People write letters. So you say what? Ali used to write letters to Maritza. It means what? Ali no longer writes letters. He doesn't write letters to Maritza anymore. Okay? So let me read these sentences with correct completion. Mr. Kaifi used to teach at Kabul University. Jim used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I used to speak and understand Urdu. Ali used to write letters to Maritza. And remember, after used to, you only use the simple form of the verb. So teach, smoke, speak, write. You don't put S, you don't put ES, you don't put ING, you don't put ED. You only use the simple form of the verb after used to, and that means something that you did in the past, but you don't do it anymore. You need about عمو فعالیت ها استفاده میکنین یا عمو فعلایی که شما در گذشته انجام دادین لکن فعلا او فعالیت ها را نمیکنین. Number 5. My family in Afghanistan. So you could say what? My family used to live in Afghanistan, but not anymore. They are not there anymore. Number 6. My son Chinese food. My son what? Used to eat Chinese food, but not anymore. He doesn't like it anymore. He doesn't eat it anymore. Ahmad Pashto songs. Ahmad used to sing Pashto songs. Now he doesn't sing. He used to. Their bicycles to school. They used to ride their bicycles to school, but not anymore. So used to, used to, used to. Use it for situations. You did something again and again and again in the past, but you don't do it anymore. For that, you use used to. Let me read these sentences with correct completion. My family used to live in Afghanistan. My son used to eat Chinese food. Ahmad used to sing Pashto songs. They used to ride their bicycles to school. Sentence number 9. These students and their school gym every day, but now they don't do any physical activity. These students what? They used to exercise in the school gym every day, but not anymore. Gym is the short form of gymnasium, okay? And also so gym, G-Y-M. My brother a nap every afternoon, but now he does not have time for a nap. So my brother what? Used to take a nap every afternoon, but now he doesn't have time for a nap. Nap in Farsi means a short sleep, okay? یعنی کسانی که برای مدت کوتاه 10 یا 15 یا 20 دقیقه استراحت میکنن او رو nap میگن به انگلیسی. You take a nap. So my brother used to take a nap. Means what? In the past, he took a nap for a couple of minutes or 10 minutes, 15, not a couple, but 15, 20 minutes, but now he doesn't do it. Okay? Now let's go to the next segment of our lesson. This is the part which is new, but I'm going to show you first what we studied, and then I'll present to you the new lesson. So the first thing is what? The simple present tense. The simple present tense is used to show an activity that happens repeatedly, every day, every night, often, sometimes, etc. For example, Tom calls Jim every day. We call Jim every day. So something is repeated regularly at a specific time every day. یعنی زمان حال در انگلیسی وقتی رو استفاده میکنیم simple present tense که شما یک فعالیت همیشه شما انجام میدید. مثلا میگیم که یا به تکرار انجام میدید. مثلا میگین Tom calls Jim every day. Tom نام یک نفر است، او جیم همیشه تلفن میکنه. در اون صورت است میگیم calls. calling گفته نمیکنه به خاطر که کار تکرار میشه. وقتی که یک عمل تکرار شود در اون صورت است که شما simple present tense استفاده میکنید، از آل ساده کار میگیرید. اما چون تام نام یک شخص است و سینگولار است، یعنی شکل مفرد است، در اون صورت است که باید به فعل اس اضافه کنیم. Tom calls. I call, you call, we call, they call, but Tom calls. Jennifer calls. Julie calls. Okay? That kind of a thing. Present progressive tense آل جاری شکلش فرق میکنه از آل simple present. The present progressive tense is used to show an activity that's happening at the moment of speaking. وقتی یک فعالیت، یک عمل در همین لحظه صحبت انجام داده میشه، در اون صورت است که او را برش ما آل جاری را استفاده میکنیم. میگیم که Tom is calling Jim now. همین لحظه Tom is calling Jim. همین لحظه I'm teaching now. You are listening. I cannot say I teach now. That's not correct English. یعنی وقتی که now میگین شما باید حتما to be را همراه verb همراه ing استفاده کنید. ما گفته نمیداریم که I teach now. That's not correct English. I have to say what? I am teaching now. شما گفته نمیدارین که I listen now. میگین what? I am listening now. Okay? Because of now, you have to use a form of be. Form of be is what? Is, am, are. Verb, ing. یعنی یا is, یا am, یا are. همراه فعل و بعدا ing اضافه میکنیم. ای که چی وقت is و چی وقت am و چی وقت are استفاده میکنیم، این تعلق بیداره که فاعل جمله چیست. اگر فاعل جمله یعنی I باشه میگین I am. اگر فاعل جمله he یا she باشه میگین he is or she is. اگر فاعل جمله you or we باشه میگین what? You are. We are listening now. Okay? Verb ing. If you say we are listening now, that's not correct. If you say we listening now, that's not correct. You have to say what? We are listening now. They are listening now. She is listening now. So every time you put ing, you have to put what? To be verb. Simple past tense. The simple past tense is used to show an activity that started and ended in the past. Example, yesterday, last night, you could say what? Tom called Jim yesterday. یعنی در یک عملی که در گذشته شروع شده باشه و در گذشته ختم شده باشه، در اون صورت است که ما زمان ماضی را استفاده میکنیم. میگیم که Tom called Jim yesterday. یعنی کار خلاص شد. Tom تلفن کرد جیم. They talked, it's done, finished, gone. So you use simple form. It's the past tense. You put ed with most verbs. So that's how you do the past tense, yesterday or last week or so forth. Now, past progressive tense, this is the present progressive tense. You have to have a form of be, then verb, then ing. This is a long action. For example, the past progressive shows an activity that was in progress at a point in the past. Jim was sleeping when Tom called. Jim went to bed at 10 and woke up at 6. یعنی در صورتی که یک عمل یک زمان زیاد بگیره در زمان گذشته، در اون صورت است که ما past progressive استفاده میکنیم. به طور مثال میگیم که Jim was sleeping when Tom called. sleeping معنیش است که این یک نفر اقلا 5 ساعت 6 ساعت یا 8 ساعت استراحت میکنه. یعنی این نفر نامش جیم است، این ساعت 10 بجه شب استراحت شروع کرد و 6 صبح بیدار شد. یعنی در بین 10 شب و 6 صبح این استراحت بود. So he was sleeping. What happened during this time? Tom called. Tom calling is what? Here, Tom called is a short action. But Jim was sleeping is a long action. Why? He started at 10 p.m. and ended at 6 a.m. Long hours. So 8 hours or 7 hours. So that's why you have to see he was sleeping when Tom called. So if it's a longer action. We use while for the past progressive, and we use when for simple past. We usually use it two sentences. در صورتی که ما یک زمان موضوع جوری را در گذشته یعنی ما استعمال بکنیم، ما while کلمه WHILE استفاده میکنیم و اگر او را در جمله با simple past استفاده بکنیم، ما کلمه when یا WHEN استفاده میکنیم. مثلا Jim was sleeping when Tom called, or while Jim was sleeping, Tom called. In Jim was sleeping is what? Past progressive. The clause باید ما while استفاده کنیم. اگر بگیم که when Jim was sleeping, Tom called, that's not correct English. You have to say what? While Jim was sleeping, Tom called. Okay? So you use while for past progressive. You use when for simple past. Now, the next tense is, if my computer works, is the simple future tense. Ami darsin now motions. Simple present, present progressive, simple past, past progressive, and used to. این 5 استراکچر بر ارتباط verb form اینو ما شما قبلا خوانده بودیم. But the simple future tense is new. So the simple future tense is used to show an activity that will take place in the future. Like Tom will call Jim tomorrow. I will see you again next week, inshallah. Okay? So in Farsi, we always say inshallah. Means something that can happen in the future. Okay? But یک زمانی که ما به یک فعالیتی که در زمان آینده انجام میشه، ما future tense استفاده میکنیم و همیشه کلمه will با فعل استفاده میکنیم و will تنها کلمه نیست، دیگه کلمات هم موجود است که نشان میده که زمان جمله زمان آینده است. So you could see that something that can happen in the future, not now, not yesterday, and not every day. The next rule is we use will or be, is, am, are before the verb to show the simple future tense. So Tom will call Jim tomorrow, or Tom is going to call Jim tomorrow. So going to is another word which means well. So they have the same meaning. Tom will call Jim tomorrow. Tom is going to call Jim tomorrow. They have the same basic meaning. It means something that is for sure going to happen in the future. We use not after well to make it negative, or the short form is won't. So out of be, we use not. So they will call Jim. They will not call Jim. They wouldn't call Jim. All of them have the same meaning. Tom is going to call Jim. Tom is not going to call Jim. Tom isn't going to call Jim. So you could make it that way. Now, I have some sentences for you, and I want you to use the correct form of the verb. Here, complete each sentence with the correct form of be plus verb, going to, and then the verb. Omar to the library next week. So you need to change it like this example. Like fix, you say what? I'm going to fix my car tomorrow. So because of tomorrow, you say, I am going to fix. So am going to means it's future. It means well. We take the bus to school tomorrow. Not go to work on Friday. It much. The weather great next week. So need to use well, I'm going to, or going to plus the verb. Here are the examples and the answers. Omar to the library next week. Omar is going to go to the library next week. See, go is the verb, so you say, he is going to go, means he will go. It's the same meaning. Very strong possibility. We, the bus to school tomorrow. We are going to take the bus to school tomorrow. Yani, is going to, am going to, are going to, دلالت از این میده که جمله فیوچر یا آینده است. یا شما will استفاده میکنین یا be going to استفاده میکنین، عین معنا رو داره. She to work on Friday. To make it negative, you say what? She's not going to go to work on Friday. It much. It's not going to cost much. It's not going to be great next week. Okay? The weather isn't going to be great next week. Now let me read these sentences with correct completion and then we'll go to the next page. Omar is going to go to the library next week. We're going to take the bus to school tomorrow. She's not going to go to work on Friday. It's not going to cost much. The weather is not going to be great next week. Now, we do the same sentences with well. They have exactly the same meaning. Both of them show strong possibilities. Omar to the library next week. We, the bus to school tomorrow. She to work on Friday. It much. And then the weather great next week. So the answers are Omar will go to the library next week. Will go. Is going to go, will go. Exactly the same meaning. We will take the bus to school tomorrow. She will not go to work on Friday. She won't go to work on Friday. Not cost. So it will not cost much. It won't cost much. The weather, great next week. The weather will be great next week. و خلاصه قاعده گرامری همیست که برای زمان آینده شما در اینجا چندین چایس دارین، اما منتها ما امروز برای شما دو چایس یا دو آپشن تقدیم کردم. یکی که شما میتونین will W-I-L-L پیش از فعل استفاده کنین. مثلا اینه که I will go to the library next month or tomorrow or next year or next week. So in the زمان آینده وقتی که میگین will, you have to say a time that's in the future. اگر will استفاده نمیکنین going to هم was a will استفاده میشه. مثلا میگین که I'm going to go to the library. I will go to the library. I'm going to go to the library. They have exactly the same meaning. There is no difference. یعنی شما دو choice دارین که یا be going to استفاده کنین یا will استفاده کنین که شما زمان آینده را نشان بدین. البته میتونین که may استفاده کنین، میتونین که might استفاده کنین. کل در آینده خدمت شما تقدیم خواهد کردیم. Okay, now let's go to the verb form of the verb. Here I'm going to give you some verb forms and then you need to choose, you have done this many times, the right form of the verb and the right word to make the sentence make sense. The verbs are pay, prove, put, quit, read, ride, ring, rise, run, and say. So the past tense of pay is what? paid, irregular verb. The past tense of prove is what? Proved. The past tense of put, put. Past tense of quit, quit. The past tense of read is what? Read. And ride, rode. And ring, rang. And then rise, rose. Run, ran. And then say, said. These are all irregular verbs. The past participle form: pay, paid, paid. Prove, proved, proven. Put, put, put. Quit, quit, quit. Read, read, read. And then ride, rode, ridden. Ring, rang, rung. Rise, rose, risen. Run, ran, run. And then say, said, said. So these are all irregular verbs. What I want you to do now is to repeat after me together the correct pronunciation, and then I will give you sentences. Please repeat after me together. Pay, paid, paid. Prove, proved, proved. یعنی pay معنای پرداختن است، پیسه پرداختن. You pay your rent. You pay the bill. و prove به معنای ثبوت کردن است، یک چیز رو شما ثبوت میکنید. Put, put, put. Quit, quit, quit. Quit به معنای یک چیز رو استاپ میکنید، استفاده میکنید. مثلا یه نفر you quit smoking، ترک میگه. سیگارت ترک میگه. You say I quit smoking. You quit your job، یعنی کار ترک میگه. Read, read, read. اینجا read و past forms و past participle form عین spelling دارن، اما تلفظش فرق میکنه. ببینید که در اولش شکل اول read، read. Past tense read. Past participle read. Read, read, read. Ride, rode, rode. Ride means that you ride a bus. Ring, rang, rung. Rise, rose, risen. And then run, ran, run. Say, said, said. These are now the sentences. Like what we did in the past, I give you 5 words from this list and then 5 sentences. So you need to do 2 things. First, make sure that the meaning is correct. You use it in the correct sentence, meaning-wise. And then you need to look at the subject, you need to look at the time and tense and see what? That you use the correct form of the verb. Okay? So sentence number 1, so the words are what? Pay, prove, put, quit, and read. معنایشون که pay یعنی پرداختن است. You pay your rent, for example. Prove اثبات کردن است یا ثبوت کردن است. Put یعنی چیزی را مگذارین. Quit یعنی چیزی را ترک میگین. و read موضوعی که معنایش قرائت کردن یا خواندن است. So sentence number 1. Abdul is rent on time last month. Marwa, the Holy Quran every morning. Please don't your job. It's very difficult to find a new job. Ahmad Khan, that is only 21 years old. John, the new book on the shelf now. So now, sentence number 1. Abdul is rent on time last month. See, it's last month. We have to use what? Simple past. See, Abdul paid. Pay, pay. You pay your rent. Marwa, the Holy Quran every morning. What does he do? What does she do? She reads the Holy Quran. Because of every morning you repeat, you use the simple form. Please don't your job. It's very difficult to find a new one. Please don't what? Quit your job. Don't stop your job. Ahmad Khan, that is only 21 years old. Ahmad can prove that he's only 21 years old. John, the new book on the shelf now. John, what? Is putting the new book on the shelf now. So please listen to these sentences and I will read them one more time. Abdul paid his rent on time last month. Marwa reads the Holy Quran every morning. Please don't quit your job. It's very difficult to find a new one. Ahmad can prove that he is only 21 years old. John is putting the new book on the shelf now. Now let's go to the last page of this lesson, and that is what? 5 other words, and you basically do the same thing. You choose the right word for the right blank, and then you use the correct form. 5 لغت دیگه هم که تمام از یه افعال بی‌قاعده است خدمت شما تقدیم میکنم که شما ایره به خالیگاه های جملات استفاده بکنین و شما 2 وظیفه دارین به اصطلاح. یکی که شما از نظر معنا لغت استفاده کنین در جمله که معنای جمله را مکمل بسازه، و دیگه از نظر شکل، گرامر به شکل تعلق داره، شکل کلمه، که شما شکل درست همین لغت یا همین فعل در جمله استفاده بکنید. باید ببینید که با کدام وقت این جمله لغت استفاده میشه و شخصی که یا عمل انجام میده کی است، singular است، plural است، and think about all of that and then use the correct form. So ride, ring, rise, run, and stay. Rahman in Turkey for 2 years. The sun at 7 a.m. every day. The children, their bikes in the park now. While the phone, Dr. Irshad entered his office. Yusuf, 3 miles a day. So sentence number 1. Rahman stayed in Turkey for 2 years. In the past, he stayed there. Which this, stayed is, you can just say it is the regular one. The sun at 7 a.m. every morning. The sun what? Rises. Because every morning is what? Something repetition. The children, their bikes in the park now. What do? They are riding their bike. And because of now, you have to use what? The present progressive form. While the phone, Dr. Irshad entered his office. While the phone what? Was ringing, Dr. Irshad entered his office. Yusuf, 3 miles a day. Yusuf what? Runs 3 miles a day. Because it still does it. Okay? Now let me read these sentences with correct completions. Rahman stayed in Turkey for 2 years. The sun rises at 7 a.m. every day. The children are riding their bikes in the park now. While the phone was ringing, Dr. Irshad entered his office. Yusuf runs 3 miles a day. Now, this is the end of our lesson. So we're going to stop the lesson here and we're going to start it next week. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to call. The lesson is delivered to you live in the studio of Iman Television. You're welcome to call and ask questions if you have any. And other than that, I'll stop and you can call and ask your questions later. بیننده های بسیار محترم تلویزیون ایمان، درس امروز ما با همینجا به پایان رسید. تا هفته آینده شما را به خداوند متعال میسپارم. البته درس ما به اصطلاح انگلیسی لایو است. شما میتونید کدام سوال یا پیشنهادی داشته باشین، میتونین تلفن بکنین، همراه ما مستقیما صحبت بکنین. نمره تلفن استودیو و نمره تلفن سلفون ما هر دوش به روی صفحه تلویزیون است. شما میتونید از استفاده بکنین و با ما شخصا و مستقیما در تماس شوین. پلوی ازو با اساس خواهش بعضی بیننده های محترم از هفته گذشته به این طرف یا از 2 هفته به این طرف ما بعضی قسمت ها را به زبان دری خدمت شما ما تشریح میتونم، خصوصا قوانین گرامری و معنای لغات. در صورت است که اگر شما همچنان سوال داشته باشین، شما میتونید که سوالتون در بعد از درس که امروز مثلا میتونید کار بکنین و یا در مثلا فردا یا پس فردا شما میتونید که با ما در تماس شوین، تلفن بکنین و جواب سوال خود بگیرین. هدفی است که تلویزیون و مردم ما در خدمت شما هستیم و امیدوار هستیم که درسایی که از این ترتیب با شما ما تقدیم میکنیم این برای شما مفید ثابت شود. از طرف دیگه چون ماه مبارک رمضان است، از خداوند متعال تمنا میکنم که روزه و نماز شما را، طاعتهای شما را، عبادتهای شما را، ختمهای شما را، تراویحهای شما را به دربار خود قبول و مقبول بگردانم. تا هفته آینده شما را به خداوند متعال بسپارم. تشکر.